cracking?
Oh, much better when I switch the camera. Fuck.
Much better.
Fuck.
What up, shitheads?
You're good at this. You're good at this. What are you
Yeah.
drinking tonight, buddy?
The Four Roses. Waiting on a new shipment of bourbon.
What the hell's Four Roses?
It's a run-of-the-mill bourbon, let's call it.
Run of the mill.
Mm-hmm. The 22 second-round picks, if you will. You know.
Which part of the draft? Early, mid, late?
Somewhere in that 205, that kind of that.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Normally, when I drink it, I like to do it in a mixed drink, drinking it straight. It's solid. It gets the job done. You know, it's like maybe a Trey McBride. You know.
Oh, Trey McBride of bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
What do you got, man? You got your UV standard?
No, this Sam's Club.
Damn. Yeah.
We're like 306.
I was gonna say, what are we in the third by now?
we drinking the Justin Ross of vodkas. Just like, we get the job done.
Let me take a shot on this guy. You know.
It's kind of injury prone.
You're hoping one day Sam's Club breaks into the who's who of vodka.
Just maybe. Just maybe. What's up, Mello? What's going on?
Hello, what's good, brother?
Oh man, had a bad cough there. Good thing we got a mic mute button. Don't want everybody to hear that shit.
Yeah.
What's going on, Mello? Man? Adam, are you ready? You ready?
Always ready, man. Always ready for the
9 days.
The AMA, you know?
Well, 9 days. 9 days.
It's single digit days.
9.
I can hardly contain my excitement, Mike.
I know. I'm ready for it to be here too, because I'm tired of hearing all the shit on Twitter.
I mean, I feel like the shit is actually reached an all-time high. Like now it's like people are 10 days out and let's pivot out of basically every pick besides like the top 2.
Yeah. Yeah. I put out that tweet today too where you just fill in the blank, right?
Right. From
what I'm hearing, blank has shown very strong interest in 22 prospect blank.
Right.
Watch next week's draft for movement.
Yep.
This is all it's just fucking rinse and repeat, right? This is all they do.
It's that fucking bullshit, man. You know, what are we doing?
I could honestly just put it where I'll put out the reverse tweet, right? I don't think you guys will be shocked when nobody drafts prospect blank in the first round. The NFL is much lower on prospect blank than fantasy Twitter.
Right. I mean, I feel like now it's just anything that's come, I'd say in the last weekish to the start of the draft, it's just kind of just noise. Unless it's from like a source that says this guy's a really good source that says this guy's just not going. How many times have we seen guys go that aren't supposed to go though in round 1 or 2, you know?
I don't know how many times we sat there over history and we watched like the NFL draft and like with the 7th pick, the Minnesota Vikings select Christian Ponder. You're like, what?
Who?
What the fuck?
I mean, we've talked about it on a shit show podcast, I believe, but right here, what's up, Phil? Right here in Cleveland, I mean, it was a day or two before, all of a sudden, Baker Mayfield's the 101. Like that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, Phil, we plan on doing. I'm gonna live stream the whole draft. Now, I can't tell you if that's all gonna be here or how much is gonna be on Destination Devi with Ray and Jay Rich, if any. Still to be determined. Ironing out the details, but. This smiling face will be on for the whole time, and that guy on your screen, this way.
Gotta go this way.
This way.
The whole time, man. I'll be here. We are all of the hours of the actual draft. You can catch our faces here or on DD, wherever, or if he has us, you know, if Ray has us linked up with somebody else, we'll make sure it's dropped into the Discord. You'll see us. You'll know where we're at.
We'll be around for sure. Plan on doing it. I took those days off. I'm not going to my fucking job. It's the draft. It's too important.
I think the night before I'm gonna stay up and drink and watch draft day.
I'll probably watch it at least twice before then.
Mm-hmm.
I can guarantee it. I can guarantee I'll watch it at least twice.
Yep.
I thought about watching it today, but I was like, too soon. Too
Yeah,
soon.
it's gonna. If you do it too soon, you'll just be like on pins and needles for too long. You'll
Yeah,
be hurting
yeah.
your soul.
I don't want to get myself too excited.
Right.
That's one of my favorite movies. One of my favorite movies.
I fucking love that movie.
It is really. I don't. Can you consider it a sports movie if there's literally like no sports action? I guess does the Vontae Mack highlight clips of him sacking?
I mean, for us, it's like the movie, right? How many drafts do we do? It's like, fuck, this movie's awesome.
Yeah, this is us. This is a dynasty anthem right here.
if Shit Show was a movie, you know?
Oh, I'm gonna change my sleeper username just to Sonny.
Nice.
Sonny.
I love that.
Sonny Weaver Jr. Let's fucking go. Man, I love that movie so much. Between that and Moneyball.
Oh, Moneyball's a good one too.
And the crazy thing, they both kind of came out around the same time.
Same time, yeah. Probably why we think both of those at the same time.
I guess. It holds a special place in my heart.
Right.
What about y'all? Y'all draft day fans? Like watching the movie? Feedback? We ain't got a single question outside of are we streaming for the draft? I love it.
Hell motherfucking yeah, we're streaming for the draft.
Yeah. What's up with your mic tonight? It's all fucked up.
Is it?
Yeah, you sound different.
Oh, you know what?
Because
it's behind the screen. It might help. I ran down here real fast. Here. How about now?
You were too busy. Covered in sewage.
I'll say this. I was a little bit busy with some real shit, okay?
Literally. Listen, man, when we made the shit show, I didn't mean for it to be literal. Right?
As soon as you moved into the house, literal the shit show.
The joys of home ownership. Buy a house, they said.
Welcome straight to the club. Buy a house, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
What's going on, King Koopa?
King Koopa, what's good?
Do you got any part of your concrete on your street left, or did you dig the whole fucking thing up and just do the city's job for them?
Listen, there's some concrete missing. We'll say that.
Oh man, those fucking transportation guys are gonna have to come out and be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, my wife's always like, "Make sure you leave plenty of lights on. I don't want someone from Amazon falling in the hole."
Fuck Amazon. You should have sent it by drone. Oh, that's mean. Oh man,
I'm getting hot, laughing hard as hell.
I don't believe it.
What's going on, shitheads? We got any
questions?
Any shitty questions? What are we talking?
We just on here to bullshit, just to hear our.
I mean, don't get it twisted. I'll sit on here for an hour and bullshit happily.
Don't bother me, man. What do you think about this Debo shit going on? Right? You caught any of this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know what to make of a lot of it. Information travels so fast. It's like, okay, is it real? Is it not real?
And even when it comes from Adam Schefter anymore,
I mean,
is it real?
Yeah. Imagine like if you're Schefter, right? You're announcing the GOAT, literally the best player of all time's announcement, and you're wrong.
No, I am coming back. Fuck you. I feel bad for the guy.
That one had to sting hard.
There we go. Sleeper Marcus in there. What's going on, buddy? Always good to get a question from you. So what's cracking? Eli Mitchell and a 24 first, or Diggs and Penny? Well, what do you think here, man?
Okay, so obviously it's easily Elijah Mitchell over Penny.
Yeah, not a question there.
But the 24 first is pretty far out just alone for Diggs. I mean, if you're like in a rebuild, I could understand why you try to do that. But then you have to flip Mitchell, right? So like, I don't know. On a contending side, I wouldn't mind doing that if I'm a contender, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind the Diggs and Penny side.
Not at all. Not at all, man.
As much as I like picks, and as much as like
24 is far out. Diggs is legit. Penny, I'm not a big Penny guy, but what the fuck? I mean, if you're gonna give me Diggs for a 24 first,
Yeah.
It's close. I think on the other side, like if I was talking about doing the other side, I'd need something sooner than 24 if I'm getting rid of a guy like Diggs, I think.
From a rebuilding standpoint, that like you said, the Eli Mitchell and the 24 first, I can get behind it. The problem is then like you got to move
Mitchell.
Elijah Mitchell.
And before the season, bro. I mean, if you don't move him before the season,
before next Friday, maybe.
Yeah, and something happens. What if? I mean, I
like him.
I don't foresee it happening. But what if they draft one of these guys in the second or third? Man,
could happen. You never know.
I mean, Elijah Mitchell's stock will drop heavily if that does happen.
If you're sitting on a Michael Carter share, if you're sitting on an Elijah Mitchell share, if you're sitting on even our boy Miles Sanders, if you're sitting on like one of these guys where you're like, yeah, I got him. Wow. Let's just say like the next Thursday and Friday. Not so much Thursday because you're not going to see a lot of running backs, I don't think, going round 1. But day 2, second, third round, fourth round on Saturday maybe. But right. Friday night's the night where you're going like, this could be the nail in the coffin.
Yes, the nail. Believe me, Mike, there was nails, there was digging, I know all about the nail in the coffin this week. Well,
if any one of these guys, any one of these teams takes a Kenneth Walker, a Breece Hall, Isaiah Spiller in the second round, it's just it's over. And then you're looking at like early third round going, please no. And then you're going like the mid to the late part of the third round. When you get in the end of day 2,
starting to feel
you got the
a
Brian
little
Robinsons,
better.
You got the Zamir Whites, the Rashad Whites.
Right. Just get through like, then you get to the compensatory round of the third. You're like, okay, we're almost here.
Almost there. Just, please don't do it to me. Yeah. All right, y'all getting out there and attempting to buy a Ayuk before Debo gets traded. I was already buying a Ayuk.
So
I can't quit this man.
Let's just.
I bought Ayuk last year. Does that
King
count?
Koopa, let me rewind so that I can play you how it goes. Way overexposed on Ayuk in the summer of last year.
Yeah.
And then because of his descent, like it wasn't even a descent, it was by week 3, you're like, what the fuck is wrong?
He's dead.
Mike and I had a pod with Brandon and the Waterbed pod. Remember that? We had Brandon and JB from Destination Devion, and we're like, what do you do? I mean, he's gotten so low as far as his value, so you kind of just had to hold him. And now I bought in again. So yes, to answer, yes, he is someone I'm buying.
I like him.
I guess Mike, when we say we're buying though, what's the price? Like, where are you willing to pay right now? Because I think that's one thing we've always tried to stand behind is not just, hey, go buy this guy. What does that look like, right?
Listen, people always ask me too, like my evaluation of market is a combination of kind of what I've experienced through doing drafts, startups, etc., trade market. But the biggest part is I can't stress it enough. I have no affiliation with this guy whatsoever. We have never actually communicated, but Adiko's tracking sleeper ADP. It's real startup drafts.
It's dope, man.
He has sorted out the mock drafts. These are actual real startup drafts. So for me, a lot of those are going to be attached with some form of financial incentive.
Right.
So it's not just a bunch of random people just getting in and doing mock drafts. Those are cool, but everybody knows when you get in mock drafts, sometimes people do wild stuff, right? My money's not on the line. This pick doesn't matter.
You may have seen me in the mock draft on Nick Arcolano's page taking Treylon at 101.
So as of right now, as of last week, Brandon Ayuk is at 8-12, almost the 9th round.
If you're buying for less than a first, it's a smash for me.
That's dope, right? 8-12 is going to put you in that early second range of value.
Mike, are you trading off 201, like any build right now today?
For Brandon Ayuk?
Yeah.
Would I rather have Brandon Ayuk or Jahan Dotson?
Yep, that's basically the question, right?
All right, it was a good thing. Let me pull up my ranks. Let me just make sure I'm not full of shit. But
it is the shit show, but we ain't full of shit.
I don't want to be full of shit.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I probably rank Brandon Ayuk over those guys.
Nah, I'm pretty sure we did, man.
Yes, I did very solidly too.
But I mean, that wasn't
Cheer
meant.
to.
It was a
Yeah.
you just I think for what the market probably is dictating right now, I would spend a late first. I still think on him, like a 111, 112. That's
The
about
only
it.
the only caveat I would make to it is the actual pick number, just the number, is going to be extremely valuable come next week.
Yes.
Because if some of the things that we had talked about do happen, you get a number of quarterbacks in there. And kind of the way the mock drafts have been playing out with like Sam Howell and that kind of stuff, if that stuff happens, or Desmond Ritter in the first round,
Right.
now picks 111, 112, 201, 202, they get more enticing to people and suddenly kind of jump up in value. It's almost something like if I had the 201 and someone's like, I'll give you Brandon Ayuk for it. Yes, I rank him above it, but I'm like, I don't know. Maybe there's somebody else out there. Like if Jahan Dotson gets drafted to the Chiefs or the Packers, somebody might go, oh, jeez, I'll give you better than Brandon Ayuk. Like I like Brandon Ayuk, but somebody's out here going, I'll give you Devontae Smith, or I'll give you, I'll give you Terry McLaurin for your 201 and a third or something stupid.
Yeah, of course.
Like what could I get that's maybe a little better, or maybe a little better package? So that's kind of where I'm at on that.
Yeah, I hear you. I think if you want to hold on some of those late first and see kind of what happens, but I think from a value standpoint, a late first, early second to me is a smash. Late first is probably the max I'd send for Ayuk right now, and as far as futures.
And I don't think you and I have to worry about it too much because we're too overweight.
Yeah. I think the person that has Ayuk that we're in, they just haven't sold to us yet, and they ain't gonna.
They like Ayuk just a little bit more. That's good to know, Marcus, that Sleeper is very close to granting running back eligibility for Debo.
Whoa. Wow. Could you imagine? That would have changed a lot of things.
I couldn't imagine. I think about my shares that I own in best ball leagues, right? If now Debo can slide in at wide receiver or running back, oh my.
There's been a few of those like over the years, right? The positional arguments.
Cordell
Patterson this year. Who was the tight end that everybody was freaking out about? Oh, the quarterback, Taysom Hill.
Oh yeah. God, can you call him a quarterback? Sorry,
well, it was basically when the weeks he was playing quarterback, you could put him in a tight end, so people were getting real mad because it's like a cheat code. And then
well, that was a big ESPN fiasco.
Yeah, right.
Sleeper didn't have that problem because I think if I remember right, all my sleeper leagues, it was like, nah,
we ain't doing it. Yep.
He's been a quarterback for a minute.
Yep. Yep.
But the ESPN league, I specifically remember that I had a crappy ESPN league that I was playing in. And I remember having Taysom Hill and putting that was.
Let me just say, Sleeper Marcus, that was the last of my ESPN leagues. I had some, not one of our shitheads, an actual shithead that would not comply. He was a pain in the ass. I had to forcefully remove him from the tight end position because league vote. It was a disaster.
Yeah, every now and then you have those. I remember back in the day, especially with ESPN, just because of redraft and back where I started. But
right,
you remember Dexter McCluster?
Oh yeah,
he was one of the first ones I can think of that had dual position eligibility. Wide receiver, running back.
You know who was so not that far back, but there was one that was actually pretty good. In he was a running back for the Steelers. He's actually not really any good, but Jalen Samuels.
Yes.
Remember that year in the fantasy playoffs, he was running back and he had like a bunch of eligibility.
3. Yeah, he had running back, wide receiver. And I think he had tight end.
It was like, wait, I can slide him into the tight end spot. So I remember in that one league, I played like literally, I had like almost all running backs, and I had one wide receiver out there.
Most of them that I can remember with like dual eligibility haven't really mattered too much.
Most of them don't. You're right.
Cordell Patterson and the 1 week of Taysom Hill fiasco.
Yeah.
But Cordell Patterson last year was like the first one where it was like, oh, okay.
This
is interesting now.
Especially because he was like, he kind of like rose from the ashes. No one really paid for him either. So now you have him and you have a cheat code.
For sure.
But to his point, man, that would have been crazy if Debo was a running back.
Absolutely. And tight end premium, what should I sell Albert O for? I have Muth,
Ooh.
Smith Jr., and Adam Trout.
What up, Jag? Glad you showed up. Phil, man, this is a tough question, Mike, because I don't really know what it's so hard to say because I don't know what people are actually willing to pay for this guy. And it seems like it's getting high.
So he's got a 10th round
ADP. Okay. So that puts him in the second mix. I'd rather him over a late second, Mike, still, I think.
For sure. I'd rather him over Trey McBride.
Yes.
To be fair.
Right.
So if I'd rather him over Trey McBride, I'm talking about taking Trey McBride and tight end premium in the middle of the second round.
Right.
You got to be looking early second.
I was going to say, man, would you do it? I think I need something like 203-ish. Like, secure me one of those top 15 picks, and I'm in.
Yeah, according to PFF, he's
Jack. Come on, man. Why do we?
Hey, man, there's engagement
farmers. Who's putting this out?
Engagement farmers, man. Good at it.
Maybe we need to. We can't. I'm not doing it. But God, that's insane.
The guy's last name is Janke. Jahnke. Right? But if you just change it to
real Janke,
you change it to Janky, it makes more sense. But I'm not gonna shit on him, but to me, I get it, man. You and I make ranks, and we have guys that we're higher on than other people. But maybe it's because we talk about it. Like, I have good defenses for it, but I've never had anybody come to me and be like, "Holy cow, I can't believe you did this!" Like, we may be off 5-6 spots.
I mean, like, okay,
but I don't have any complete frauds.
No. Well, like, okay, so Albert Okwuegbunam, right? Like, for me, he's always been. Like,
you got a lot of shares of him, buddy.
Yeah, man. But why did I want him? A lot of it was like this. I think he's really good. I think he's athletic. I was hoping he'd eventually get to the. But you didn't see Noah Fant's going to leave, right? So, like, now.
Yeah, nobody saw
it's now getting to the point where, okay, do I just cash out? I think that's where Phil's kind of like, that's where I'm at. Right? I have a bunch of shares of him. I don't know what he really be. Does he ever seriously get to the point where he's going to accumulate the value of being a first round dynasty pick? And that to me is going to be very hard. So that's where I think if you can get that early second, it's a cash out point for me. You know,
I'm good with that. You get an early second, cash out, re-roll it into a Pickens, Dotson.
Yeah, you re-roll it into like one of these young assets that could climb more. I think those guys, right? Like you said, Ritter, Dotson, Pickens, that range. Even maybe Christian Watson, there's a better chance for them to ascend in a value more than Alberto.
Yes, sir. I think in that situation, though, I like Pat Freiermuth, so I'd be holding on to him unless somebody gave me something crazy. And I still like Adam Troutman. Such a bad beat. We were high on him, and then he didn't really do anything.
Then he looked like he was coming back.
Yeah, and then he looked like then he's coming on strong, and then just nothing.
It's like we still don't know what the hell we have, and the value's so low.
Irv Smith, man, there's people out there who still love Irv Smith. You give me any type of second. Any second for Irv Smith, he's yours. I'm not an Irv Smith guy.
I don't think I have any. But if I did, man, yeah, I'd be looking to get out. So.
I'm good. That was one of the ones we didn't mention him on the podcast when we were talking about the ones that Scott Connor was tweeting out about bad athleticism and probably never going to happen.
Yeah.
He was on that list, but I don't have any Irv Smith, so
we never got around to it.
Yeah. Yeah, no farmers, no food, Jag. We need engagement farmers.
Right.
All right, what we got here from Alex? Took over an orphan team in a rebuild. Would you trade 101 for AJ Brown? 12-team super flex, tight end premium, 3 wide receivers, 2 regular flex.
I'm not. No.
The 101? No, absolutely.
Breece Hall? No chance. No chance.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and maybe it's spicy. Maybe people hate it. I don't think there's a damn wide receiver in the league worth the 101.
I mean, here I'll say this. I agree with you. The only one that I still wouldn't do this, but the only one I could argue would be Chase. And then for me, I would be, you're going to flip him because Chase is just ridiculous as far as value.
What you could get back in return.
Right. because I think Chase is still going to go ahead of Brees in startups, right? So, like for me, that would be the only thing I could maybe kind of 4D chess move it, but I wouldn't even suggest that. I just think that Brees Hall right now he's already a top 5 running back in a lot of people's ranks at Dynasty. Like before he steps on the field, what if this guy gets a good landing spot too, right? Then you move the needle a little further. I think Brees Hall's only going to ascend before he even plays.
I like AJ Brown, and maybe this is my running backs over wide receiver hate talking or whatever you want to call it. But
yeah,
talked about it again today. I get it. There's that sentiment out there. You know, we've heard it. Ray has come around to the, you know, I don't want to take the J.K. Dobbins or the Antonio Gibsons, right? The Scott Connor approach, and I fully respect it. Right, I get it. Just when I'm looking at it, man, I went through it with some of the people in Voice when I was talking about it today. And just the wide receivers from like 14 in most people's dynasty ranks down to like 36 are all kind of the same guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not separated by much. I mean, you're talking maybe a handful of touchdowns. If you look at just points, some of them are just a handful, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. The difference between finishing as wide receiver 35 and wide receiver 15.
Right.
And when I look at that, it's such a flat tier. And where all those guys go, they go from like rounds 4 all the way down to like 10.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
When I do drafts, when I look at it, this is the reason that I'm a running back guy, is because like rounds 1, 2, 3, 4 in Superflex drafts, I'd like to get 2 running backs and I'd like to get 2 quarterbacks, preferably. Mm-hmm. Now, Kyle Pitts does come into there.
Yeah, he mixes in.
Other than that, man, I'm not looking at wide receivers. I'm not because if I get the running backs in those rounds, those top 4 rounds, I like them. I feel good about them. If I'm going running backs in rounds 6, 7, 8, 9, oh man, there's a couple, we have talked about it. There's a couple like crusty targets that like, all right, Zeke in round 8, sign me up. Sure. Aaron Jones in round 7 for a year. Okay, I'm good. Like, sign me up. But what happens if those guys go? Then you're looking at a Leonard Fournette or a James Conner or you know, there's some real gross. Like, I could be left with 0.
We literally just did a whole podcast last week on the 4D, right? About kind of why you can target, if you target the receivers and then you wait on the running backs later.
Yep.
The names get really spread out, and you have to have a lot of things go right just to even land ones that you are comfortable starting. Whereas if you flip it around and you do running backs earlier and you take the receivers later, you know, we talked about so many guys, Mike Evans, so many guys that are falling in 6, 7, 8 that are really good values at wide receiver.
So just read some off here, right? Shout out to Adiko again. Round 8 running week. Isaiah Spiller, your boy. All right, so we got one good one that I'd be like, okay.
He's going round 8? Wow.
Yeah, running back 26. The hate is real. Michael Carter, we just talked about. There's a possibility he might be toast. James Conner. That's it. Now, conversely, wide receivers in round 8. Brandon Ayuk, Hollywood Brown, Cortland Sutton, Darnell Mooney, Chris Olave.
Wow, is Bateman a 9th round?
Yes.
Holy fuck.
Right?
Wow. So wait, hold on real quick. There's a guy we both really like to even further the point in the 9th now. Sheesh.
Yeah. Let's look at 9th round wide receivers. Pickens, Bateman, Mike Will, Juju, Michael Thomas, Chase Claypool, Christian Watson, Kadarius Toney. Now the only 2 running backs with 9th round ADPs right now. Can you guess who they are?
That we like?
I don't think we like them.
Okay.
But just guess who the hell they are.
Leonard Fournette?
Nope. He goes earlier. That's sad,
what?
Right? Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Think crusty.
So there's only 2 running backs that even have 9th round ADPs, you're saying?
So if you got Michael Carter and James Conner in the 8th, who do you think the 9th round guys are?
Man, this is gonna be so disgusting. Let me think about this here. Let me look at the rankings of mine. See if that helps me, like, just even guess correctly. Because I normally don't even, like, they're not targets for me. What about a guy like Tony Pollard?
Later.
Oh, my goodness, man.
Later.
So Miles Sanders is probably later too then, right?
Later, yep.
I am, dude. I'm stumped. AJ Dillon.
Earlier.
All right, go ahead, man.
Can I interest you in Damian Harris
Oh yes, please.
or Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
CEH is.
RB29, 909. Not inspiring, right?
Oh man, I'm starting to feel a little bit woozy.
Could you imagine one of those guys being your RB2?
I couldn't even imagine if that's my RB3. Like I feel
Yeah.
I feel disturbingly disgusted, man.
Not into it, man. Jag's saying he got Albert O in a 22 second for Goddard. Hey, where was that? Where was the 22 second? Or is it just generic?
Yeah, that's a good question. If
That'd
it's
be
generic
good.
at this point, like what kind of league is this?
You never know. I mean, we're in that was it Patreon Best Ball one of Ray? I don't think we have a draft order yet.
Yeah, that's true.
If people ask me to trade my pick, I don't even know where the hell it is.
It's very few and far between. I'll say that. Maybe okay. If you're waiting on a lottery, I can understand it.
All right, fair enough. People tried to make trades with me in that league, and I'm like, where are these picks at?
I don't know if I'm trading for 212 or 201. How do I trade with you? I can't afford to make this orphan worse by taking your 212.
It's just so different because like hell, we're in 6 leagues. We've already drafted rookies.
Right. Yep.
This one, I don't even know the damn draft order. That's so crazy.
Somebody wants to know when the housewarming party is. Hey, listen. I'll tell you this much: if you guys are coming up for the expo, we could make something shake. Make something shake.
I did a housewarming party in August.
Yep, it'll be a little bit later than when I moved in, but it'll be new enough to where we can make something shake.
Did you tell your wife that she's got to go back, take the baby, go back to her parents for the weekend?
I told her, I said, listen, my grandma's about 20 minutes away and my mom's about 25. Take your pick. You imagine if I told her that?
I'm nervous, man. I want to meet her. I want to say hi, right? But I'm also like, after all this time, we've never talked. So
yeah.
She might stab me. It's all your fault.
Hey. So I got mesh Wi-Fi, and I named the thing 4D chess, and she's like, "This is not going to be the name of the Wi-Fi. That's about you, not us."
Damn it.
Well, it's going to be 4D chess for a little bit longer.
Jag said it was a 212. You can't get any later. But then he traded the 212 for Daniels. I like the 212 for Daniels.
I like the 212 for Daniel Jones. So you got so it's Daniel Jones now and Albert O for Goddard, Mike.
It's all right. Not the worst.
I mean, if it's like a deeper starters, 14 team or something like that, like I would really like that. And then,
all right, well, we got Brian here. Took over an orphan, came out of the dispersal looking to fully rebuild, but now have Fields, Stafford, Dak. Having trouble moving a quarterback right now. Is there an optimal time for the vets? Man, the vets are going to be closer to the season,
especially Stafford and Dak.
The one of the problems you're running up against right now is people may only have one quarterback, or they may only have two quarterbacks, and they look at the draft picks they have, and they're like, "I'm going to get a quarterback here."
Yeah.
Well, one, you got to make sure they're, like some people said, maybe there's not one that goes in the NFL draft worthy of that draft spot, and number two, that's assuming your league mates don't take them.
Yeah.
Okay? Like nobody else does. So, as of right now, there's a lot of people in their minds and their heads going, "Oh, I'll figure out my QB 2 and 3 in the draft." It's not going to work for everybody. So, after the draft, leading up to the season, as you get into it, and people really start to construct their teams, that'll be a good time to really move them. Right now, you're still working against like blind optimism. The blind optimism hasn't faded, and the dog shit, "Oh, I'm fucked," hasn't kicked in yet. So,
especially if they're listening to the right people, that you're going to have that the thought process like we discussed, right? You do not want to trade for a starting lineup at this time of the year, right? So even if you have one, you don't want to force that right now. Yeah. I think the other thing too you're working against, Mike kind of hit it, is I think Stafford and Dak, their ADPs are going to rise, both of them, as the NFL season comes, right? Like as that August startup starts happening, when it's like, okay, I want to compete. Everybody's mind starts moving to competing. Those guys will rise. And I think the thing with Fields is right now, right? Robinson left. They didn't do anything in free agency. Like I think there's a little bit of concern, Mike, on Fields in particular for the youngers of like his weaponry right now as it looks on paper is like I think it's worrisome, you know, like it's Mooney and who, right? So
Byron Pringle.
Yes. Oh my. Talk about getting sick. So I would stay patient, especially if no one's, giving you fair return right now. Outside of Stafford, like I don't see anyone moving down too much in value a lot.
No, maybe Stafford's about the only one. But, I mean, the one thing I've discovered, man, you and I both went in. We're not as high on Stafford as a lot of people, but
true.
There's a lot of Stafford fans out there, and it's only going to get.
It's reflective in his ADP. Isn't his ADP in like the third right now?
QB 11, 301.
301. He's almost a second. My gosh.
He goes before Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, Brian, stay patient, man. Stay patient. It's going to come.
It hurts. It hurts my soul. It hurts my soul. He goes before Trevor Lawrence, and it hurts my soul. He goes before Justin Fields. But hey, I let people do them, right?
We're here to report. We're here to report the news. You know.
Yeah, we're here to report the news. I get it, man, but there are times last year. I mean, there's a reason that we made that joke. Hey, the Rams traded for Jared Goff, and they sent away Jared Goff. What's going on, Jason? So, would you trade back from the 102 to gain assets and then draft a quarterback later, like Pickett or Corral, instead of drafting Willis?
It's all about what you get on top.
Yeah. If I'm going to trade back from the 102, it better be for something good.
So, okay, Mike, let's just say, because that range to me.
Hypothetical.
All right, Corral, though. Corral right now, Sully was asking my opinion. He was at the 109 and 110, and Corral's still there. Like, I think Corral's going really late. So, I think, to me, the safer move is trading back in, like, the 105-ish range, 106-ish range for a Pickett. But then what do you need on top, Mike?
So if I'm going from Malik to Pickett, 102 to 105, 106, somewhere in there.
Right.
Man, that's a tough spot too. Because I'm going to assume this draft is going to be post NFL draft.
Yeah.
Right? Like most of these questions we're going to get. Not a lot of them are going to be pre-NFL anymore.
Right. Yep.
Again, kind of like what we just mentioned with the Fields Stafford Dak thing. What happens if you make this move and the quarterback landscape is as shitty as we thought? Maybe it's Malik and then Corral, Howell don't go in the first round, and the next best one's Kenny Pickett, but he goes at, like Cody Carpentier has been saying, pick 30, right. 31, 32. Right. You kind of just fucked yourself out of the only real quarterback. Mm-hmm. I still want Pickett because he's a first-round quarterback, or whoever the second one is. Insert blah, blah, blah. But what if it does happen?
Yeah. So I think, Mike, for me, I would go back to, like, values, right? So the way I would think about it is this. If you're going to give me Pickett, like, I think 3 is pretty certain. Like, I think we are pretty confident about Pickett. We're pretty confident about Willis, and we're pretty confident about I'm drawing a blank now.
Matt Corral?
Mac, yes, thank you.
Okay.
So if that's the case, I still I value Willis as at least 2 first, probably more at 102 because of what's going to happen. So
pretty easily.
Like if you're going to go to 105-ish, like I either need that's why it's tough, because 23s and 24s are being treated like the 22 draft's coming, Mike. And there's people that are saying, I will give you more 22s to go back years. That's why this is so tough, because I would say, okay, in a normal draft, I'll take 102. You give me 105 and one of your futures, right? Or 106, one of your futures. That's not coming. So I would need at least 2 of a first in this year's, if I'm being real. Like, otherwise, I'm not doing it. If you're going to give me like 105 and 108, 105 and 107, something like that, that's a smash. Outside of that, even the later first. But why would I do it other than that?
So it pretty much has to be like an extra first on top of it.
Yeah, because
Pretty much.
no one's going to throw you those later first right now.
Yeah.
Unless you're in a home league where people don't know about the futures, like the 23 and the 24 class, and someone will say, here's 105 and one of those two, I would do that all day. But those are not likely to come in a lot of these leagues right now.
What do you think about hedging your bet? Give me the 105. Give me a 23 second and give me a early 22 second. So like 201, 202, 203.
So you're talking 105, 201, and a 23 second?
Yep. First and 2 seconds, essentially. If nobody's going to trade you the later picks.
That would probably work because like 201 is almost a late first for us, especially the way we feel like we're comfortable drafting in this class.
You get a random second, and then the point I make about hedging your bet is if these quarterbacks fall out at the top of the second round, guys like Ritter, Howell, Corral, like one of these guys who falls, might be a good spot to take him.
True.
Might be a good spot to take him, depending on what the draft capital is in the second round.
Yeah.
I'm not big on second round quarterbacks because they're so damn hit or miss. For every Derek Carr, we've got a billion Kyle Trasks. Right? It's just turds.
Right.
But it is kind of hedging your bet a little bit. Like, man, I trade back here. Say worst case scenario, like we had mentioned, Malik is a top 10 pick. Pickett's the only other quarterback who goes, and he goes pick 31.
Right.
I don't feel good about taking him at 5th overall. But if you wanted to skip it, you go, you know what? I'll just grab a Matt Corral, Sam Howell, a Desmond Ritter, whoever the second round quarterback is.
There's a one I'm really excited about right after this. So let me finish this.
Okay.
If I'm gonna do this, Jason, I think for me, I would want to hold out until closer to your draft day because I think the 102 with Malik Willis basically is going to keep pushing up in value. I think you could squeeze a little more value out. So unless it's a 2 first deal right now, I might try to hold because I think that's going to rise in value. But the next message here, I'm really excited about on the YouTube channel.
No.
Dad. Chloe, what's going on? How you doing?
Well, yeah, that'd be a quick one. We'll get out of here.
Oh.
It's my 14-year-old daughter. She needs to go to bed.
Hi, Chloe.
It's a school night. At least for another month or two. Fucking kids do.
Are we still sort of down on Olave combine?
Combine showed he's fast as Wilson. He's bigger, has more production. I don't know about that last part. And Matt Harmon's reception perception has him graded out ridiculously high. I'm pretty sure Olave got outproduced here this last year by both of the other receivers, but I could be wrong. We'll pull it up and look.
Production is not, I don't think, the strong suit for Olave. But
total production, like over his entire career, yeah. Well, he played 4 fucking years. He should have.
Right.
That was mean. I'm sorry, but
I don't want to say I'm down on Olave, right? Because like I'm down. I would say this: I'm down relative to consensus. All right,
not as high on Olave.
Yeah, I'm down relative to consensus, but
what we found out in our drafts that we're not as high on Olave as a lot of people.
Brian, but what I'll say is this: like, as an Ohio State guy, like I've watched a lot of them. Like, I've been wanting more from him on the collegiate field for years, and it feels like for me, I'm having a hard time buying that that's going to all of a sudden translate into the NFL. But the one caveat I'll say is he is pretty certain to get the draft capital and have the opportunity. So, you know, in that, you know, late first, early second, it's not my preference, but I understand if someone does it because he's going to be a top 20, 25 pick guaranteed.
At least you corrected there. This year, yes. Career school records for touchdowns, early breakout. I get that.
Yeah, right.
Because I was pretty sure when I was looking at the stats, I had to pull them up here too. Like him and Garrett Wilson had identical target shares this year.
Yep.
Garrett Wilson had 1,000 yards. Olave didn't hit 1,000 yards.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson was better this season. Correct.
And we know about JSN, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like people just salivating at the fact 2023 JSN. I'm not as high on Olave, yes, like Adam had said, as what a lot of people are. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine if that's the reason I don't get Olave. He's definitely somebody that has piqued my interest. So we talked about it on the ADP show.
Yeah.
That maybe we got to get back in and do a little more digging on Chris Olave. Because I want to know exactly why I'm not as high on him. It's just so damn hard if I look at it for me to put him above Jahan Dotson, George
Pickens. Those are the two, I think. The primary two.
The really one, like, if you got Chris Olave above Christian Watson,
no argument.
I get it.
Yep.
Get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I don't rank it that way, but I get it fully. Yeah. Other than that, man, I can't even put Olave ahead of Jameson Williams because it's just like everything that Olave does, I saw Jameson Williams do better this year.
Yeah.
And I get the whole talk, man. The JMO had to transfer because, Ohio State, but I really don't give a shit.
The JMO buzz, man, is getting crazy. There's so many people that say he's going to go top of the class at wide receiver right now.
Man,
off of a torn ACL.
I like JMO too, but man, I can't put Olave ahead of JMO. I just can't. There becomes a point where our JMO hate for the ACL has to stop.
Sure, of course. It's basically
I draw the line at Christian Watson and Chris Olave.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And
the reality, I think, right now, based on draft capital and the community, is I hate to say it, we're not going to get as much of him as we'd probably like to.
Yeah.
But for Olave, listen, we're down on him relative to consensus. I'd prefer basically Dotson and Pickens for sure, in my opinion. But listen, if you really like him and you want to go get him late first, early second, I mean, you're splitting hairs in a little ways, I think, Mike. So I'm not going to knock it too much.
The real truth is, the cold hard truth is, once you get past London, Wilson, Treylon Burks, those three, the next tier of guys, Pickens, debatable. Dotson, Jameson Williams, Christian Watson, Chris Olave. And the more and more I hear about Sky Moore and what may happen, if you wanted to put him up there, that's fine. You wanted to debate any of those guys, I'm cool with it.
Yep.
I'm not going to fight you too much. It's personal preference. It's just after that though, it's your next best is David Bell.
Yeah.
So who gives a shit?
Right.
Jalen Tolbert, Alec Pierce, John Mechie, Wandale, Shakir, Justin Ross. It's just
it gets gross, man.
It's blah. It's those receivers, man. I got my personal preference of ranking, but the more and more I see Olave go ahead of Pickens or Olave ahead of Dotson or JMO or whatever, I can't fight you on it. Now, where I will fight you and argue with you is if you put Olave in the same breath as London, Wilson, Treylon Burks, because I think that's an entirely different conversation. It's those three guys, however you wanted to rank those three guys, and then a fucking tier break.
That's pretty blasphemous ahead of those three.
Yeah.
But the other ones are, I can make the argument. I get you. I'm with you.
Trophy. Chase says Olave is a good wide receiver, but he's an upside of some of the top tier.
100%.
That's why I have a
100%.
separation between those three guys. Burks, Wilson,
100%.
London. The rest, yes, I can. I don't like the whole ceiling talk upside thing, but it's easily recognizable from what you can see on tape and, frankly, from the fucking analytics, which we'll get to talk to JB about some of this stuff tomorrow. So yeah.
Yep.
Oh, fucking T-Rock's in here. Things are popping.
T-Rock.
What's going on, man?
Cracking.
I did not know that Olave equated to Tyler Lockett.
I did see that one. Yeah. I'll say this though, man. This is a good point Jag actually made. Okay, Mike and shitheads, think about this. Tyler Lockett to me does not become Tyler Lockett if he does not land with a Russell Wilson.
That's true.
And that's actually why I'm scared of Olave, because if he does not go to a cannon deep ball thrower that puts it on the money, that's what I've watched from him at Ohio State, right? If he's open downfield as this stretcher, but no one can get it to him, if he lands in that spot in the NFL, scares the fuck out of me. I'm not lying to you.
Understandable. You would know better than a lot of people, man, because you watch every game
Yes.
Ohio State, that's your bias.
Yep.
It's kind of like you come and ask me about Tyler Goodson. I can
Tyler
tell you,
Goodson.
if I can see in every game, I'll tell you,
Yep.
what the fuck I need to know.
Yes. Yeah. And that's
Just
a good. I think that's a good
different-
comp for him, man. I do.
Just a different conversation. I like the Tyler Lockett thing, but that whole like boom or bust thing, there is the bust part, right? I mean,
Yeah.
people who have Tyler Lockett in lineups know that sometimes it's just.
How do you feel
nothing.
about Tyler Lockett right now, Mike, with Drew Lock and no one else throwing the football today? Right? Like you're not pressing the button on him in the startups.
I still have Tyler Lockett ranked highly, but I would be full discretion, full transparency. I have him ranked highly because I'm like, man, I hope
He's gonna get traded to somebody else.
He gets fucking traded.
If you know week one, if you know the trade deadline's come and gone and he's in Seattle the rest of the year, you're
Listen.
not feeling good.
If I had a crystal ball and you're like, Seattle doesn't do shit at quarterback and Tyler Lockett's on the team the whole year, you're
Yikes.
going down in the rankings,
Yes,
man.
yes,
Like,
yeah.
like if I had that crystal ball, I had to be some changes here.
Right.
Ooh, look at this one. Look at this one. If Bijan has a Chuba Hubbard-like season, does he fall from RB1 due to recency bias or stay the same because of past production? Ooh, man. This is going to be an interesting one. As a dynasty player, a fantasy manager, as a content creator in this space, I want every player to be good. I really do. The more good players, the better off. It's more fun to talk about good players than to talk about bad players. Now, the shitty part of me, like Matty Keywom says, the 5D, the fifth dimension,
The demonic.
the demonic is like, after all this talk about 23 and people just spitting in their hand and jerking themselves
Creaming.
off over it,
Yeah.
I don't wish injury among this guy, but a fucking horrible Chuba Hubbard-like season would be fantastic. Be absolutely great. just perfect. Ugh, you take that and you like it.
Here's the thing. Let me try to answer the question and also not get too crazy because I think Bijan is like I don't think there's many scenarios, even if he gets hurt, even if he has a down-ish season for Bijan Robinson, I don't think he's gonna like catapult down the rankings. I don't think he's falling hard, right? But I will say this. I'll say this though, Mike. The 23 class as a whole has enough juiced up running backs, like especially like okay, Jahmyr Gibbs goes to Alabama. He plays really well in that scheme, right? I could see him climbing the ranks. I could see him maybe moving the needle ahead. There are people I could see moving ahead of Bijan, but Bijan Robinson has so much like cult behind him, Mike.
Yes.
It is going to take a insanely bad season or like ACL tear he doesn't play for that to even be a consideration.
I'll give you a good one. Just for reference. Leonard Fournette. But Leonard Fournette,
LSU. Yeah, true.
Right? Incredible freshman season. Super incredible sophomore season. Absolutely incredible. Like, pretty sure he was a Heisman finalist or in the running to be a Heisman finalist his sophomore year.
Yep.
Damn near 2,000 yards. Junior came back banged up, hurt, didn't really play well against like the Alabamas of the world, right?
Still went 4 in the draft too.
Nobody gave a shit.
Yeah.
Nobody gave a fuck. It really didn't matter. So
Yeah.
I think there'll be a lot of that.
Yeah. Yep.
But for me, it'll be like I'll be constantly like poking. Right?
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. But I get it. Oh, Melo out here. Olave to the Bills. Please, God, no.
Melo's trying to make Mike sweat it out, man.
Packers
You give
are crazy.
him wide receiver too. I'll tell you what. This is why, real quick though, I don't think it's gonna move Gabe Davis before the draft. Move him.
Please, yeah.
Move him.
Sheesh.
Move him. If you haven't moved him already, move him.
It's looking like the window's closing, right? Because I got Gabe Davis in a couple of our leagues, and it's just
You should have been moved him. But move him.
I tried. I put him on the block when he scored 4 touchdowns. What more do you want from me? I tried.
What did I do? I'll have to find the trade. I'll have to go ahead. Answer another question. I'll try to figure out what I did.
Olave to the Bears. All right.
I bet the Bears could be nice.
What they already have Chris Olave on the Bears. His name's Darnell Moon.
Yep.
It's just, why would you do 2? Whatever. What type of teardown would you do for Deontay Johnson in a full rebuild?
Wait, Phil, real quick. You're tearing to Deontay Johnson, or you're tearing off of? Like you want to tear down from him?
Tear down would you do for? Yeah, that one's a. What we got here? Wait for him to respond here, but if you're tearing down from Deontay Johnson, man,
Down from Deontay can get sketchy. Depends on how far you want to go. What do you think? Like, I would say, I'm trying to think who, if I have Johnson, I'd be comfortable going down to, as opposed to just taking picks.
I'd be over the moon to get like Devontae in the first.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Amon-Ra in the first. What do you think about that?
Amon-Ra in the first easily. Yep.
Ayuk in the first.
Ooh, easily.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the tier for me. Bateman, Devontae, right?
Yeah, just insert one of those guys in that tier that we have.
Yeah, so Devontae, Bateman, Pittman, Ayuk.
Like
that's the tier, I think. That's the tier.
What if you got crustier than that?
Amon-Ra is close, right? That would be the next tier.
Okay.
The other guys, though, I wouldn't do because of the build. If you're contending and you need more assets, maybe for those other guys, like Mike Evans.
Yeah, trading him off his team.
Okay, so would you go down? Let me ask you this, Mike. Would you go down to Pickens in the first?
Yes. Yeah.
I think I would probably do that too.
I'm in. That is probably like bottom dollar.
That's like
those are also like moves that I make where it's you get shit on or dunked on. I can't believe you do that, but it's Deontay Johnson.
Because at the time, Mike, think about this, right?
Yeah.
If you did this when we were getting shit on, we would be doing that trade for 111, right? And a 24 first. What are you doing? You're trading off Deontay Johnson. He's a sure thing.
Yeah, I would go to one of those guys. Oh, Brian in here. Back last name he asked if he thought AR-15 Anthony Richardson or Cam Ward would get into the 23 QB1 conversation, and he said Will Levis. I think Will Levis is dope. Checked him out. Guy can sling it and run as well. Yeah, picked him fifth. And the crazy part to me, the thing that I always have to wrap my head around with Will Levis, is that Sean Clifford was a thing. I got to see Will Levis at Penn State play Iowa, in person.
Okay.
Will Levis played Iowa, and when Will Levis was in the game, I was like, "Oh, we are so fucked." And then they put Sean Clifford back in, and I'm like, "Thank you, appreciate it." So then, fast forward, Will Levis, whatever, doesn't work out at Penn State, transfers to Kentucky.
Yeah.
Watching Iowa's bowl game. And Will Levis is playing against us, and I'm like, oh my God. And him and Wandale just
deja vu.
The man has a fucking the crazy part, he wears number 7. I love Sam Howell in this class. And Will Levis is like a bigger version of Sam Howell. Can run and has a fucking absolute cannon. Wears number 7. I don't know. Maybe it's
I
that
see
thing, but I'm a big Will Levis fan.
I am too.
I love Will Levis.
I think like when you think about like Kenny Pickett, Mike, like it's less of an extreme with Pickett, but Pickett kind of rose later. Like I think Will Levis, this 5th year senior, right? He has a really good campaign this year at Kentucky. I think you can lock and load him. And Mike said, man, this he's big, man. Yeah. He's like 6'3", almost 230, 240, and he can move.
I like him.
I think he's certainly a conversation for one of the breakout 23 quarterbacks that could happen.
Like Ray had comped a long time ago Sam Howell as like a smaller version of Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Well, like a slightly less smaller version of Josh Allen is
Will Levis. Yeah.
Right? You add another 3 inches and you're almost to like 6'6" Josh Allen, 6'5" Josh Allen, whatever the fuck his height is. But you're getting closer, right? We're turning up the dial. You're at like 9, 8, 9 on the Josh Allen scale.
I think he's beefier than a lot of people think he is too, man. He's got some thick.
He's thick. I like him.
Thick boy.
We're talking about Bijan Robinson. T-Rock. Hope he has a great season. So I can trade him 101 to get 3 times first.
Listen, if Bijan has let's just say this: the converse. If Bijan has a smash season,
yeah, Jesus Christ,
you will be able to trade him for 3 first, especially if you're going out of 23.
Listen, I will be fully on board. Like Bijan being like the next.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I will fully be on. My biggest thing has always been, and I've talked about it multiple times.
The uncertainty of a full season, yeah.
Is there's a big difference to me, and there's always been a big difference in like C2C and Devi and people getting too far ahead of their skis in Dynasty. But there's a big thing in trading for the player name versus the pick number. Like the 101, I get it. 101's always going to carry
101.
I don't give a shit who it is, what class it is. The 101 will carry value. The thing about like in Devi where people like our boy JB, I love JB to death, but when you trade like DeAndre Swift straight up for Bijan Robinson in a Devi league,
yeah,
there's nothing but bad things that can happen to Bijan Robinson between now and when he actually steps foot on an NFL field. Like there's nothing good that can happen where it's going to increase his value from the position that has already been established, like what people are talking about. So that's always been my hesitancy because there's nothing can happen.
You're assuming all that risk for a couple years, right? So, okay, if it pans out and Bijan becomes this where he's great season 3, okay, at that end of the year, you'll look like a genius. But the counter argument for us is basically you could trade Pitts for something that's can get into your lineup right now on the NFL side and probably ride that value out more.
Jag has an unhealthy obsession with Deontay and wide receivers. Yeah, Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson. And then I go to this year and I'm like, ooh, Jahan Dotson.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like Deontay. I get you. I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Higher than consensus on Garrett Wilson and George Pickens. I can get with you that. We definitely share the Pickett sentiment.
We're both on Pickens, and I like Wilson quite a bit too.
He definitely can have that the Burrow Wilson like rise. I like
that too. Yeah.
I like him. It won't surprise me, right? We'll talk about it right now, and you can make all the ranks in the world. But we saw what happened this last year, where it's like Spencer Rattler and Sam Howell 1-2, and now neither of them.
Right.
Or for the Devi folk, the C2C, DJU, right? And some people like
remember when
I got questions about him, and people, you're fucking crazy. You don't know nothing. He's gonna be the next Trevor Lawrence, and then now it's like, what's DJU worth for those guys? So it happens.
I think I talked about this on a 40. Remember, there was like a time, like it was like March and April, I think, really, like last year, basically a full year ago, where you're like, man, I can trade back to 23, and because that we know that class is loaded, I get more.
Yeah.
But then like that window shut like in the summer, and it's like, okay, I'm just gonna take 22 now because it's just insane what 23 costs.
That was the biggest pivot for us. I think for you and I as a whole was, man, I want 23, right? And I know you in drafts, you were loading up on 23s, and we were talking about how great 20. Let me get these. And then at some point, they started to get a little bit too overvalued. The dial got turned up on them, and the 22s got turned down.
Yeah.
And
my two 23 hordes, Mike, were only in those spring, early summer startups. Like when the fucking needle moved too far, I'm like, I'm done on this, man. This is crazy.
This is a good one to finish it on. Hip hop question: is Nas the greatest lyricist ever?
If not, why are you wrong? Oh, good shit, Brian. That's a good shithead question, man. Damn, that's a good shithead question.
He's asking 2 Midwest white kids about hip hop lyricists. Man, I love hip hop, but you know where I'm gonna go. Greatest lyricist.
Go ahead, Mike. You hit him first, man.
Look at me. Where do you think I'm going? You had to guess. Chat, if you had to guess who I would say.
I know where Mike's going.
This big, ugly, bearded guy from Iowa.
I'm gonna guess some rapper from Detroit.
Oh, Kid Rock.
How about let me get more specific?
It's M.
8 Mile.
It's M. Yeah. Fucking Mellow knows M. Like, come on.
Nas. And to me, he's not the greatest. Not Nas really had it though, man. I love
did.
Nas. I love Nas.
He did. Man, can't believe his debut was in 94. 94, man. I was 8 years old. at least, hey, we got some M fans in here, right? M is my favorite. M is my favorite. But man, greatest lyricist. I'm still gonna say him. But damn, man, Nas is good. Nas is good. I think I saw some TikTok today too, where it was like, they're like, "Who's one of the greatest lyricists of all time?" They pan to the white guy. The white guy goes, "Come on, man, Eminem." I legit saw it today. And then they pan to somebody else, and he's like, "M's not even top 25." Like, God damn, not top 25. Jesus,
Man, you know what? Like, I love M too, but I think I might actually say Nas. As far as just the lyrics, like, I might actually say Nas. It's tough.
man.
It doesn't mean I don't love M, but because I got a soft spot for Eminem.
I think Cube gets disrespected too much.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
He's not.
He does
nice.
get disrespected.
And I think it's part of our like generation's fault too, because we know Ice Cube not only as a rapper, but then it was like Ice Cube is like
the corny actor.
Yeah, the corny ass actor.
Yeah.
And then his downfall is they do Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
One of the dopest biopics I've ever seen, right? They do Straight Outta Compton, and his fucking kid almost plays a better Ice Cube than Ice Cube.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yep.
So, but yeah. I mean, I gotta put Ice Cube up there. Like that No Vaseline song. Just the shit going on in your mind to be able to put that together. Pretty good, but
crazy.
I still give it to my man M. If y'all haven't listened to Godzilla, like not even Rap God, the famous one, but go listen to Godzilla.
Oh man.
It brought out all the Twista feelings.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
If we want to talk about lyricists, Twista needs to be in there too.
Really good, Brian. If you want some, I'm not staying up as late as I did last Friday or 2 Fridays ago, Mike. I'm not doing it. That was insane. But next Friday or this coming Friday, Brian, we'll throw some tunes on, man. We'll kick it.
Ooh, 92. Jag hit me with it. Why did I think 94? Maybe it's fucking 2K, right? Answering them stupid trivia questions by the fucking weirdo in the music thing, the get up your music on the mic career. Maybe that was it. Maybe that's why it stuck. I don't fucking know.
You kept pressing 94.
Maybe. You got to get all 3 right to get your 25 daily bonus points.
True. You got to get them all.
Stupid ass motherfucker.
Ice Cube, the actor, Law and Order.
Ask Skinny Rapper, the best lyricist.
The answer's Eminem.
I don't know, man. A lot of people hate him.
I don't hate him.
Just ask Machine Gun Kelly. MC Searches, another white rapper for you song. I don't know. I have to pull it up. I was introducing y'all to Lil White, Memphis. Favorite rapper, Snow. Former was lit. Hey, that's a good way to end it. We appreciate you guys tapping in. Another AMA. That's going to do it for us. We're going to bounce out of here. But we will be doing this again real soon. Kind of just tired of the whole mock draft scene. Like,
yeah,
once we get the NFL draft.
We wanted to change it up a little bit, man.
Once we get the NFL draft, we'll start tracking ADP now that we know landing spots. But
MGK isn't a rapper anymore.
That's true.
Hey, also, stay tuned. If you're around Friday, basically from 9:00 Eastern through, we'll see what time, we'll be chilling, doing team reviews, kicking and drinking. Next week, the following weekend, you will get to see Mike and I the whole time, the whole draft. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You ain't gonna miss us.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pull up. We're gonna try to alternate bathroom breaks.
Hey, I got you. I got you. Go ahead, man. I'm gonna keep drinking. I'm gonna be drinking too. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna get fucked up to the draft.
It's
gonna be dope. I'm excited for it. I'm gonna pull in another TV right over here so we can watch it live, or maybe another tab. I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet. I already podcast. My monitor's a fucking 38-inch.
That's fantastic, man. Damn.
We'll pull it up. But anyways, doesn't matter. We're gonna live stream. Get you instant reaction. You get to see the pride, the feelings of elation if Sam Howell goes in the first round, or you get to see the with the 32nd
man.
pick and it's not Sam Howell and he has
It'll be like a knife.
It'll be like
a knife right through the black guy's face in my man's shirt right there. Oh, right in the heart.
got me, just got me. It'd be like Ray when he was streaming
Jalen Reagor.
40 time. Get it, big dog.
No.
Get it. just pure disappointment.
All right,
Every
shit.
pick I predict you guys have to take a shot. Gee, fuck that, man.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't know. It is T-Rex.
Damn.
He's pretty
I
bad
mean,
at that shit.
I'll drink with the best one, but are you trying to kill me on live? Damn.
We'll work something out. We'll get some game in.
We'll
The
get
first
a
round
game in
doesn't
for
take too
sure.
long. Second
Yeah,
round
we'll get a
takes
game in.
longer, and we definitely ain't doing that shit Saturday.
Dude, the first round is a marathon, man. It
Yeah.
takes forever.
Yeah. Well, they got 15-minute clock, don't they? Yeah.
99% of their first round picks, because it should be 100.
None. That's gonna do it for us. We're out of here.
Shit. Well, peace, man.